So T. Higgins is calling Duke Tobin out on his bull crap. He is saying, Duke, you're lying, my guy. You are lying. Yesterday at the Combine, Duke Tobin and Zach Taylor talked. And they said Jamar Chase was going to be one of the highest paid wide receivers in NFL history, which very clearly, yes, he's going to be eventually, right? That's not a question. But the second docket was about T. Higgins. He says, I think T is a fantastic player and I want him on my football team. Whenever I'm in charge of a football team, I want T. Higgins. And so I'm going to do what I can to get T. Higgins. Our preference with T is do a long-term deal. Always been. It continues to be. And works hard to get that done. I'm optimistic until there's a reason not to be. And I've always been optimistic with T. Well, T responded with the cap emoji. Now, the cap emoji, for the Gen Zers, means you're lying. It means you're capping. You're lying to people. Your statement is a lie. So, what this means is any part of this statement could be a lie. I highly doubt the whole thing is a lie. For example, this is probably not a lie, would be my guess. Our preference is a long-term contract because, let's be honest, I don't think any team, let alone us, is going to try to work out a contract with a star receiver for 1 to 2 years. So that's most likely not a lie. I would guess that they would probably be working out a long-term contract. Always has and continues to be, we'll work hard to get that one done. That could be the lie in the end. Maybe that T doesn't believe that they've always worked hard, which it came out that apparently, last year, they didn't work out a contract with T for a whole year. And we're talking about years in an off season. Last off season, from March until literally now, they haven't touched the idea of a contract extension with T. Higgins. They went a whole year without going ahead and working out a contract or even talking about a contract. Apparently, they offered him an offer that was absolutely disrespectful, and then they didn't go back to it in any circumstances. That was leaked by T's side, so that might be where he's saying he's lying, saying, hey, listen, you guys, are claiming you've always worked on my contract, but clearly for a year, you guys were MIA and didn't want to work after, you offered me a disrespectful deal. So that might be where he is he's saying he's lying. Obviously, he could also be saying this. I want him on my football team. Maybe T feels like Duke doesn't want him or Duke doesn't care about him on the football team. Obviously, you offer a disrespectful offer, you're going to make the player feel like they aren't wanted. Like the player doesn't, like you don't want the football player on the football team because clearly you're not giving them a reasonable offer. In business, the last thing you want to do when you're in a business negotiation is disrespect the person you're negotiating with. If you're selling a bike, okay, and you say, I want $500 for this said bike, and I come in and I go, give you $20 for the bike, you're going to feel disrespected. You're going to feel like I came in there to waste your time. And let's go farther than this. Let's say I schedule an appointment with you. I say, hey, let's get on the phone, right? I want to negotiate. I want this bike. And I get on the phone. You spend time out of your day. You set up this appointment. You get ready. You're like, okay, this is going to be, let me make sure I have all the details possible about this bike that I'm selling you. Everything's perfect. And I get on the phone and I go, I'll give you $10 for the bike. And I really won't budge. I won't budge off that $10. And you want $500. And I'm going in there saying, well, I'm going to give you 10. That's called being disrespected. That's disrespectful in a negotiation. because you clearly know going into it what the price tag the person wants. And you're coming in saying, hey, I'm going to give you nowhere close to that price tag, which means you're just doing it to waste the person's time because you know they're not going to come down to that $500. And you're not even going anywhere close to what they want. And that's just called being disrespectful in a business negotiation. The last thing you want to do when negotiating business, you don't want to disrespect the person you're negotiating with because they will walk away. So that could also be a thing. He could also feel like he doesn't feel valued on the team. This could also be the lie. I'm going to do what I can to get T. Higgins. Well, if you're doing what you can do and everything you can do, and T gives you a price tag of what he wants, you're not going to come back with that $10 offer. You're not. Well, I really want the bike. I want the bike more than anything. That's what I want. What's your best offer? $10. Well, you clearly don't want the bike. You clearly don't want it because the selling price is $500. You want the bike and you want everything. You're going to probably offer $300. That's, way less than what the person's asking for, but it's a more reasonable deal, a real reasonable offer to get to the solution. So, again, there's a lot of different ways here to break this down. Now, the last statement is, I'm optimistic until there's not a reason to be. I've always been optimistic with T. Here's the last part I will break down. And I've said this many times in videos, and I'll kind of reiterate it again. They made a very key statement by giving T the non-exclusive franchise tag. Giving him an exclusive franchise tag means we don't want anyone else to get you. You are our guy. We're going to work out this contract, and we're going to figure it out. And we don't want anybody else to have a chance of getting you. By giving him the non-exclusive franchise tag, what that means is we are open for the idea of you being traded. There's always a chance you could be traded. And this is now opening the doors. Now, if you really want a player, you're not going to give him that. You're going to accept the fact that you're going to pay him more money on the potential franchise tag, and you're going to try to get that figured out. By giving him non-exclusive, that means any team can give you 2 first-round picks, and they can offer T a contract. Or it also opens up the door saying, hey, other teams, we're interested in trading this guy because clearly, we'll let him go for 2 first-round picks. What's your best offer? And that shows to a player that, yeah, you're not 100% all in. You're not 100% all in on getting this contract done. So, again, there's a lot of different areas where you can kind of say cap, like, they're lying. But at the end of the day, it's a muddy situation that has been muddy now for 2 years. And I don't know where we go on from it because at the end of the day, he is going to be franchise tagged. No team's going to give us 2 first-round picks. We know that already. Which means that we're going to be in this gray area where if we don't work out a contract, he's under franchise tag next year. And we're talking about this whole situation next offseason. Right? And it's just the age-old back and forth of, well, we could franchise tag T a 3rd time. Yeah, that's also a thing, by the way. We could franchise tag him till 2026. The end of 2026. He could not be a free agent until 2027. That's also a factor. Which, for a receiver, closer you get to 30, the worse the situation gets for you. But we could really kind of push this as far as we want. And I think the Bengals understand the ball is in their court. And they have all the control. And that's what I said before, right? I'm going to reiterate this over and over again. I want to keep Trey Hendrickson. I don't want the Bengals to trade him. I will be against anyone who says we should trade Trey Hendrickson. I'm against anyone who says we should trade away Jamar Chase. I want Jamar Chase on this roster. At the end of the day, T. Higgins' situation is muddy because I'm against the idea of trading T. Higgins. I am 100%. But I can understand where the Bengals are coming from, where they're looking at it as if we can get 2 first-round picks for T, which I know is crazy and it won't happen. It will not happen. But if a team is desperate enough and wants T more than anything, right? Let's say Jaden Daniels, right? The Commanders go, listen, we have a team that just went to the NFC Championship game last year. If we feel like if you have T. Higgins on the other side of Terry McLaurin, we could win a championship or win a Super Bowl. And the Commanders pick is like pick what, 30, 31? It's pretty much a second round pick. So what they might be thinking is, hey, listen, we give up 2 potential second round picks for a wide receiver 1. That might very much be a consideration. So tell me down below your thoughts, opinions. See you guys next one.